Hello, everyone, and welcome to the... That was kind of weird. I didn't like that. I changed up the intonation, and it really threw me off. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 134th episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You may know me better as BHL Hudson. Here we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. With me, as always, is my friend, co-host, and post-one exam buddy, Frederick.
Post-one exam? Of 5?
Jeez, you told me you did an exam today and it still come through for the podding life.
You best believe it. No exam could ever stop me for a little potteroo.
Yeah, the pod takes... We can come back from days of travel, from exams, from our...
From our own deaths, and we will still podcast.
The pod comes above all.
It does.
Yeah, how have we been doing, just generally?
Honestly, not bad. Just been busy, doing a lot of studying. And yeah, I mean... Trying to go to the gym a bit, not that motivated anymore since it's getting the semester's kind of ending, so I'm noticing myself being very lazy in bed a lot of the time, but
yeah,
from the studying and that doing pretty good.
Yeah, I am the same. I've been a little gym unmotivated because it's just I don't know. It's also something in the fact that the semester's coming to an end, so I'm going to be going back to Denmark soon. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll just start getting in shape when I get to Denmark, and then, of course, then I'll be like,
it's kind of like postponing it.
Yeah, and because there's also, there are no more classes, so there is more time to just spend lying in bed. It's wonderful. It's
a good time. However, the tum-tum be looking a little round.
I am going to Portugal soon, and unfortunately, I don't know if I'll be taking any of my usual BHL Big Nasty-esque beach pics.
Pictures. It'll be more of a Ricky Gervais-esque pose.
Well, yeah, my incredible physique that was liked by Dustin Poirier himself no longer exists, really, in the same sense. So
I will not lie to you, it has faded.
But I was gonna say something else about just studying, just doing a bunch of what's been great about the pandemic. I don't want to say what's been great about the pandemic. That's probably offensive. But one of the...
You know what I've loved about this worldwide terrible happening?
One of the silver linings, I guess. The fact that all classes are recorded now makes studying for exams very easy. Because literally my studying has just been going through class recordings, honestly.
It's the best. I've got two little anecdotes.
Oh.
And by anecdotes, I mean, not major.
Stories.
But one of them's major. The other is just something that I found funny based on the conversation we had just before we started recording. We were talking about how we love the New Girl references we do to each other and stuff like that. But basically, I had a talk yesterday after the pub quiz with one of my friends, and he said that New Girl is not at all funny, even though he binged it all in a month.
He said New Girl was mid?
He said New Girl was mid.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, and I genuinely had like a heated debate for a good 10-15 minutes about how wrong he was. He was like, "Yeah, How I Met Your Mother is so much better." I was like, I cannot believe the words coming out of your mouth.
Jesus, disgraceful. We're going to talk about How I Met Your Mother later, and while it has its charm, it has nowhere near as much charm.
Nowhere near. The character development's way better in How I Met Your Mother. It's like,
oh my god. I had a kind of similar thing where one of my friends I met here a few months ago, one of the first conversations we had was about how much she liked Brooklyn Nine-Nine and hated New Girl. And I tried to restrain myself a bit because, first time you're talking to someone.
But I did spend the night in jail.
But I may or may not have gone on a George-esque rampage, Ezra Miller style, throughout the city.
Chairs were thrown.
But yeah, I mean, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, good, but compared to New Girl, heavily mid. Anyway, so yeah.
And the second anecdote, one that I think you will be slightly excited for.
Ooh.
In exactly 4 days.
No, don't say it's so.
A man has booked
a
little tattoo appointment.
Have we talked about this on the pod? Because this has been going on between us for about maybe a year or something.
I don't know. I think we have talked about it on the pod.
Well, explain to the. I'm so. Okay, I'll talk after. Go ahead.
I'll restrain myself. Well, basically, your boy is getting a tattoo that is so far from mid. and I'm getting a little runic armband around the top of my forearm as a tattoo, and I thought runes, like Viking runes, can look like you can write anything and it'll look cool. So why not write the coolest thing and get Poorly Planned Podcast written across the forearm?
Go! And to be clear, this is your first tattoo ever?
First tattoo ever.
And you are getting the pod inked on your body. Arguably one of the biggest mistakes a man could make, but at the same time, the greatest achievement. What a incredible.
Yeah. So I'm very, very excited. Also nervous, but not so much about what I'm getting on, but just the fact that I'm actually getting tattooed. Because the first time I'm like, it's a little scary, but I cannot wait to see the result.
Oh my God, I can't wait either. Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while, and I have to say, trying not to make it too cheesy, but I mean that is just. It's just a pretty sweet friendship kind of thing. You're getting a part of our friendship inked on your
immortalizing
body.
it.
Come on, that's
not that it wasn't already immortalized, but
no, of course,
immortalized on my body.
Now it's not only immortalized in the Spotify archives, but in fact on the very skin from which it was born.
The very skin that it was created from.
We wrote the first episode on your flesh. That's incredible. I can't wait to see it. Honestly, it's such a. Also, I have to say, just such an honor. I am honored. I have to say. So
it is my honor, sir.
I assume a Instagram pic will be going up from that.
I mean, I think it might just have to.
Excellent. Man, I can't wait, dude. Seriously, that's actually so cool.
It's gonna be so good.
Goodness. Well, yeah. First of many tattoos? Question mark.
I think so. I think there'll be a few coming on the old flesh canvas, as they call it.
That is what they call it. Well, I don't know if the episode will be topped by that. Well, oh my God, I've just come.
Oh my God, I'm getting a Prince Albert with our podcast logo.
Don't look up what that is. Oh my God. Speaking of which, no, wait. Okay, I'm all over the place.
No, go on. Say it. Say it.
Well, because today, the day this episode is going up, is in fact the 5-year and 1-day anniversary of the Poorly Planned Podcast. We should have opened with that. I'm sorry. My bad. But I was thinking of what to do, and I'll be perfectly honest. I came up with nothing. I spent a good while trying to think. I was thinking we'd get you to sing, because we were going to do this for episode 150, as it was requested, I believe, by Movie Guy. Get you to sing Loaded Diaper, or Exploded Diaper, the classic song.
I see.
But I think we can maybe save that for episode 150, because by the time, not the next episode, but the one after that comes up, so I guess it counts. We've talked about it here. You will be getting a Poorly Planned Podcast tattoo, which I think that's a pretty good 5-year anniversary kind of symbol.
It's not bad. I think that, oh my God, wait, is it the Friday that is or the Thursday that's the 5-year anniversary?
It's the Thursday, yeah. Wait, are you getting it?
The Thursday. I'm getting it on Friday.
Oof, okay. It would,
missed it.
Still, I mean,
but the day after the 5-year anniversary, getting that.
Yeah. So, that's the 5-year. If you go to Freddie's Instagram right now or maybe a day after this pod goes up, you can see Freddie's Poorly Planned Podcast tattoo. And can I just say...
Man, I really hope this comes off properly now.
Yeah,
I hope they don't, cancel the appointment or something.
Yeah, we've really built it. This whole 5-year anniversary thing is riding on this.
I'm just saying that by some terrible mistake or injury or something that it does not happen this Friday,
it
will happen very soon in the future.
Okay, fair. We've covered all our bases there. Also, can I just say, I just remembered one of the first things Pierce posted on the pod fan page was he wrote Poorly Planned Podcast with a pen on his hand or something. A form of tattoo, I guess. And here we are.
What a connection.
An actual tattoo. Anyway, there are time codes down below, by the way. We've gone on for a little bit. But anyway, happy 5 years. Look at us. It's been
so
great.
Strange.
It's been wonderful.
It's been so good.
We've had fun times. We took about a year break at one point in there. But we're going strong now. We're better than ever, I'd say. We're doing better than ever, numbers-wise, I guess.
The money is rolling in.
Douchey way to put it. We're actually just balling currently.
Currently, I'm rolling in dough.
But yeah, we're coming out every single week. We got a new pod, and I'm feeling good about it. And we got some fun stuff coming this summer.
It's the it's just the rhythm we've gotten into as well. I think it's good momentum and good rhythm we've gotten.
Momentum's a good, yeah. I'm trying to get that back with the BHL channel because I've been very inconsistent on that for a while. So if we can get some momentum here, get some momentum on the BHL, and then get some momentum on the FDK, we're golden. But yeah.
The FDK is lacking slight momentum, I'd say. Not the most regular upload schedule that man has.
But yeah, no, thank you guys for listening for 5 years, those of you who have, and here's to 5 more years. I'm sorry there isn't more cool stuff. Episode 150 will have more cool stuff. This episode, Freddy's getting a tattoo, so, that's not that bad, I'd say.
It's not that bad. Come on, please.
Now to celebrate the epic 5-year celebration, I'm trying to make this more of a thing, we are doing a mini reviews and news episode.
In true honor and celebratory ways, we're doing
a truly special
newsums.
So I guess I'll just go first. I got some trash mini reviews, I'm not gonna lie, but
I've got some good ones.
Ooh, hot dog. I've got one good one, but we're not gonna start with that. We're gonna start with, I watched one episode against my will of the show Selling Sunsets on Netflix.
Selling Sunsets.
It is
can't say I've ever heard of it.
It's a reality show about real estate agents, but they're all like attractive women.
Oh.
And drama ensues, and it was the worst thing. Just the worst.
That sounds really good.
It was god awful. I mean, I didn't expect it to be very good, but I was not even. I love a good bit of trash TV. I've watched a bit of Love Island. It's a good time, when you're in the right mood for it. This was just the worst kind of trash TV. It was just very staged and boring. And there are 2 guys in it who are twins who both look like a small,
like each other. It was crazy.
Well, they're both like small bald men, and there's nothing wrong with that, but like they just, I didn't like their vibe. Not to do with them being small or bald. I'll be bald one day. I'm kind of digging myself a hole here. Got my foot in my mouth.
I hate all bald people, and I'm gonna be bald soon.
I didn't like them. They creeped me out, and like the whole thing was like, I don't get it, because it annoyed me so much, because like the real estate agents, they're telling you all their tricks. And they sell to like rich people. They're like, I need to get a $200 million house or whatever. And they're telling you all their tricks. They're like, yeah, so I like to do this with the customer. I like to manipulate them in this way or whatever. I was like, why would you tell us this? So you're never going to get any business. You're telling me all the ways you manipulate.
Madam, you're going to jail.
And they just set up this thing where it's like the worst acting you've ever seen for this. Not a fan of Selling Sunsets. So I know a lot of our fans are going to watch that. So I'm going to discourage you from doing so. I did not like it.
Good.
No offense to the person.
I'm happy you've made everyone dodge a bullet there. Because it does not sound like a very enjoyable time.
Not fun.
My review of Selling Sunsets, not fun.
It's a mysterious like poem I've written.
You write your haiku. I'll go with not the grandest one, but I will go with a movie I watched the other night called Love, Rosie. It's basically there's one actress who I do not know the name of, plus I usually know his name. The guy who plays Finnicky in Hunger Games.
Oh, Finnick? Yes, Smarmy face. Sorry.
What did you call him?
Very cleverly dubbed him Smarmy McSmarmy Face. I don't think the actor Smarmy just in that role. He's very smart.
I heard Spermy McSpermy Face, so it's still good. By the way, I requested a round on all things sperm at the pub quiz the other day, and they did it. Moving on.
I think that's better. The less said about that, the better.
Yeah, just wanted to throw it out there now that we're on the topic of sperm that you led us here to. Anyway,
you just said the word sperm, and you're like, by the way, I got a great story related to that.
Oh, what's his name?
I'm looking it up. Lily Collins and Sam Claflin.
Sam Claflin, that's the one.
Of course.
Anyways, watched it. A sweet movie, but also thoroughly frustrating, because so many stupid decisions are made throughout. It's basically about Sam Claflin and Lily Collins are like best friends from childhood. And then on her 18th birthday, they kiss, but she's so blackout drunk that she doesn't remember it. And he thinks she does. And then like a kind of rift starts. And then they agree both to move to the States. So it's like they live in England. They agree to move to the States. But then just before she's supposed to move, she finds out she's pregnant, not with his child, someone else. And then she's like, oh, I can't hold him back. He needs to go. And then she stays home without telling him. And then throughout this entire movie, it's basically just a lot of them, like, one person liking the other person, but then the timing's not right because the other person's with someone. And then the moment that person breaks up with their someone, the other person's with someone else. And it's just like, they keep this horrific ping pong match going back and forth for like 12 years until she finally decides to buy a hotel, and then he comes up like a creep. At the end, he's like, I'm gonna need a sunset view. I like, Claflin, you absolute dog. But yeah, I mean, a pretty sweet movie. But
the sunset view.
Like, room for one.
Don't let room service come in.
I'm gonna need to be completely nude the entire time.
God. So good. It sounds like a bit of a Jim and Pam will they won't they kind of vibe.
I mean, it's pretty clear that they will.
Okay. I mean, it'd be a pretty lame movie if they didn't in the end.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty good movie. Like, I didn't really spoil anything here because I think it's very obvious that they're gonna end up together. But a nice, fun, like, rom-com drama kind of thing.
Good vibes.
But good vibes, but just so many frustrating decisions made throughout. I was just sitting there like, you absolute moronic bastard. What are you doing, Claflin? A decent movie, but frustrating at times.
All right. Speaking of things that are decent, but often frustrating, naked bodies. I'm not crazy about that transition.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. So, basically, when Yassine and I were in London... Wait, that's a terrible start.
Wait a minute.
So we shared a hotel room. Still not a great start. But...
Still, this is terrible. This is just you admitting your intimate scenes with him.
Anyway, so, Yassine and I, we went to London. And we, after...
one thing led to another, and
after a really long, hard day of sightseeing.
Sightseeing. I really needed to relax with a massage. Unfortunately, the masseuse was out, so I had to make do with the Yassoon.
We were in London for the UFC thing, and at night we were just, flicking through TV as you do, just trying to find something. We came across the show Naked Attraction. And... and then we started kissing. The show's unrelated.
We came across the show Naked Attraction and decided to do a DIY at home.
Anyway, and we thought it was... I think we may have talked about this. I think I've heard of it before, but I didn't actually realize, like, it's what it is. And we found it, like, a hilarious... in general, because we're really mature, that it's hilarious. Naked people.
Of course.
But also, just that it was on, like... British television, just like you could flick on the TV in the hotel and it would be there. Like it's a very Danish thing. Like you turn that on in Denmark and you'd be like, like naked people. That's
there's also a Naked Attraction in Denmark.
Of course there is, yeah. But then
it's called Date My Nøgen.
Oh, I think we have talked about that, yeah. But yeah, it was an absurd kind of thing just to see, and weirdly, I mean, for trash TV at like 1 a.m. or whatever, quite entertaining. And since then, I discovered it's on Netflix, and so I've been watching a little bit on occasion with my girlfriend. And just a very strange show in so many ways.
It is a strange one.
Who would choose to
Mainly
go
because
on
I hate the host.
The host is not great. She makes a lot of I guess it makes sense for the show, but she makes a lot of sexual comments about herself. And I'm like...
A lot of very direct things she says.
Yeah.
Personally, I love my penis.
Yeah, she always like, well, actually, my nipples, I love it when... And it's like, Janine, I didn't ask.
Let me and Yassine enjoy this moment together.
Well, basically, in case you don't know what it is, it's a game show, basically, where one person comes on to, like, find love and find a date, and then... They have 6 naked people in pods, and then they slowly reveal parts of them, and each round someone gets eliminated. Yeah. Again, it sounds absurd, and it's completely uncensored, which is just...
which I love.
Which is, I don't know, crazy for, like, a thing in, again, like, the UK, which I didn't think was as, like, I don't know, forward about that as Denmark. But also weirdly entertaining. I mean, in, like, again, like a kind of sort of... trashy, not really that interesting way. It's a strange thing, and I again sometimes when it's like, here's Gary, a 50-year-old dad from Hamptonshire. I'm like, Gary, your fucking kids are gonna see this. What are you doing? just an absurd thing. Anyway,
Do you have many more?
I have 1.5 more.
Okay, I've got 1.5 more as well. I'll go for my half.
Okay, then I'll do my half, and then we can.
Oof. I love this dynamic. My half is just. Oh no, we'll make it 2 because I've talked about the other one before. I'll do my 2 halves now. One, I've been watching some more Family Guy. Enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Some funny moments. Are you gonna? Oh no, I won't spoil what's happened.
I don't care if you spoil what happens in Family Guy.
Okay, well, Brian died.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, that was.
Oh yeah, I made that happen.
That was a big deal when it happened. There were like articles about that.
Yeah, I mean, he was like done for good for like 3 episodes, and then now he's back.
And then they brought him back because everyone hated it.
So a bit of an emotional episode in Family Guy, but I was like, okay, this is still pretty good. And then second half here, me and my girlfriend have in fact started watching Black Sails. I am rewatching it.
Oh, it's been a
the
while
best
since I heard
TV
that.
intro ever.
It's pretty good.
The first episode, just amazing. Just amazing. So yeah, that's gonna be like the TV show to watch for the next few weeks / months. So I'm very excited because it's a good one.
That sounds pretty good. My other little half one was watching a little more How I Met Your Mother, and there was just one episode of note that I thought was a little amusing because they make fun of Marshall for going to Broadway with his guy friend and getting dinner beforehand at like a nice steakhouse or something. And it did just remind me of our Woody's tradition.
Of course.
And they were making fun of him, but I was nostalgic
but
for
I
the
sympathized.
But I sympathized. Yeah, that's it, basically. It's pretty all right.
It's pretty, yeah. I've seen a few episodes,
Yeah.
Anyways, now.
Wait, actually,
I've been...
sorry, should I
go first?
Should I do mine first? Because yours is... we need to build to this crescendo.
That's...
I did watch the latest Pixar film, Turning Red.
Ooh, I have been meaning to watch that.
I think I told you a few weeks ago, I might have mentioned on the pod, like I watched the first 15 minutes and I was like, this is alright, and then I kind of stopped watching it. But I stuck with it, and it was, you know what, it was very, very cute. It was very fun and charming, and even though I think the reason why after the first 15 minutes I was thinking like, and this is a kind of lame thing to think about a movie, but like being honest, I was thinking like, this doesn't really seem like it's for me. You know, it's about teenage.
I'm not a teenage girl going through puberty.
I can't relate to these problems, but you know, that's a quite silly view to have of a film, and I stuck with it, and it was very good. It's very, I don't know, it has like a frenetic, fun animation style, and it's not the most deep Pixar movie, and like it's very predictable where it's gonna go, and well, it has like, you know, the typical Pixar emotional ending, which was pretty good. I think it would be more emotional, again, if I did maybe, you know, relate more to the protagonist. There is a dad character in it who's quite delightful. I think he would be your favorite character if you watched it, which is very typical us of watching a film about a girl going through puberty and be like, the dad who was there for 5 minutes, he was pretty fun.
The dad, he was enjoyable.
But no, it was really good, and it was sweet and touching, and yeah, it was a good movie. It was cute.
Good stuff. I do want to watch it. It seems it doesn't seem like the most mind-blowing or like amazing movie, but it seems like one that would be a good fun watch.
Yeah, it was nice.
Now,
oh boy,
a movie that for some reason we've hyped up so much.
It's literally just because of the title.
I did in fact spend my night the other day watching Dog.
Watching the dog.
The doggy. The dog. No, Dog.
Just Dog. Thank you very much.
Please. Featuring Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum's dog.
And I've got things to say about it.
Oof, all right,
I will not lie. It wasn't exactly what I expected. Like, I know like the plot or something like that we already knew, but I thought, I don't know. It was. It's weird to put words to, because it was actually a very sweet and wholesome movie.
That's what I was expecting.
I didn't. I think I might have laughed a bit more if I saw it with you, but it was not. Again, obviously, because Tatum's not going to suddenly become a feral beast who walks around on all four.
Damn it!
But it didn't make me laugh as much as I thought it would.
It wasn't as memeable?
It wasn't as memeable. There's still a few. At one point, Tatum pretends to be a blind man and gets into a hotel for free because he pretends it's his guide dog and he's a veteran. He's a veteran, in fairness, but he pretends like he goes into a hotel and is like, oh, I've lost my wallet or something like that, and I can't get in, and I served in the army, and he just gets like a free penthouse suite and like dances around, which is quite. It's not a great moment. Also, Tatum at 2 points in the movie, weirdly very douchey.
He just like so kicks over a kid or something.
No, so basically like he goes into like the army. Like the army compound or something like that to pick up the dog, because basically the dog, or Lulu, but he keeps, for some reason he knows the name of it. It's the dog's name is Lulu, but he keeps just going dog. But so basically like, when he goes to pick up the dog from the military compound because his friend whose dog it was died, he comes in with an army license that's 4 years expired. And they're like, oh, so you had to throw this away, like it's expired, just like abiding by the law and rules, right? And then like the sergeant lets him through, and then Tatum, as he drives past the security guard who's just doing his job, he just flips him off. He's like, yeah. It's like, Tatum,
a random dick Tatum.
And then another point is after he gets caught in the hotel and gets sent to jail, Bill Burr appears as the security guard.
That is horrifying.
Who's terrifying. Who's also like some military person, but not like as prestigious as Tatum was. Amazing when Tatum then gets out, he just flips him off as well and says, "Thank you for your service," sarcastically. It's like, Tatum.
Tatum, they're doing their jobs.
Tatum, please. Like, you're not a good person right now. But yeah, so like not as meme worthy as I want it to be, but I think it'll live on in our minds as one of the best movies ever, just because of the fanfic we made.
Right. Just because of the, hopefully, maybe in the sequel. But a solid movie on its own, and maybe not as
a pretty good movie on its own,
worthy as we might have hoped. But yeah, fair enough.
And Tatum also seems thoroughly lonely at times because he's just sitting there talking to the dog as if like he's expecting a proper response.
Damn, wouldn't it be great if just halfway through the movie the dog started talking Marmaduke style?
What an epic twist.
It's just the last moment of the movie, he just reveals he could talk the whole time.
There are points when I question Tatum's intellect, because he's sitting there talking with the dog. At one point he looks back and says, "Are you even listening? You're not responding." It's like, Tatum, what are you...
That was actually an on-set moment with Tatum and the dog.
That was unscripted. Tatum was just genuinely confused why his co-star was not speaking to him.
All right. So dog, a solid dog time dog.
Dog, a solid dog time dog. Could not have described it better myself.
Well, it is now time for the newsums. Cue the intro. So first of all,
do we have an intro?
We don't have an intro. I was hoping maybe you'd improvise something, some kind of percussion based. That's okay.
I thought you were gonna leave a little room because someone sent in an intro. But
no, that'd be great. What kind of intro would we have for the news?
News.
I like it. It's it gets to the point.
Take that audio bit and put that in whatever now.
You know what? I might just do that, honestly. Just news.
News.
I'm gonna keep that audio bite. I am. That'll be so confusing for
if someone
listeners.
comes in, it's our first episode. We're now going to move to the intro. News.
Yeah, they're like, oh, they have a theme song for the news. That's really impressive. And then it just plays that clip. Okay, well, first of all, there's a lot of news because there was this thing called CinemaCon that I'm not super familiar with. I probably should be because I'm a movie guy.
Because cinema's my whole thing.
It is what it is. So there's a bunch of kind of little news. Do you want like a couple of little BB gun bullets of news before I hit you with a couple of live shotgun
AK rounds?
Yeah. Weird metaphor I've gone with here. Well, first of all,
very aggressive.
Yep. The Hunger Games prequel was announced. which I think you'll be excited for one reason and one reason only. It will be centered around a young Donald Sutherland.
It will not. Surely not.
An 18-year-old Cornelius Snow. What the fuck was his name? Conrad Snow.
Conolingus Snow, I believe is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, the famed character. And it will be called The Ballad of, I was about to say Buster Scruggs. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And 18-year-old Donald Sutherland has to like help out a girl, like a tribute from District 12, and then he probably learns he loves being evil or something. Do you care?
Honestly, based on Donald's early work, I know he will not be in this, but...
What if they did de-age Donald? Let's get that trending. Hashtag de-age Donald. Just in real life. Just do it for real.
The immediate... Yo, can we get that trending? D.H. Donald.
Is he... I hate to ask this, like, so crassly. Is he still alive?
I don't know. It'd be quite difficult to de-age him otherwise.
Well, they've done it with... Like, in Star Wars, half the people they fucking de-age in that are deceased. Anyway.
Fuck's up with that Star Wars?
Sorry, yeah, that was, again, kind of aggressive. Anyway.
I think
cool,
he might still be alive. Let me look it up.
That's the news item. So, news today, Donald Sutherland. Still kicking.
All right, news, Donald Sutherland. Let's see here. He's 86, though.
All right, so he's still... You go, Donald.
I mean, I'll watch it. It sounds pretty interesting, but...
I guess,
not exactly blowing me out of the water.
No, the Hunger Games movies were pretty good for the first couple, and then were not as good after that. For the last couple.
Sad to see the heroes die like that.
Anyway, speaking of heroes, not really dying metaphorically from films, director Jon Watts of Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movies fame, leaves the Fantastic Four movie.
Oh no, Hunter Plus. I like the fact that you called the new Spider-Man movie Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man.
Although it is rumored or something that he is returning for the fourth Spider-Man movie, but from the thing I'm confused, because on the Fantastic Four thing, it said something like he wants to do things that are not superhero movies, but then I saw another thing that was like he might be doing Spider-Man 4, so I don't know. But,
see, Mr. Watts is all over the place.
Or just I'm reading fake news. Could be it. But, are you excited for the new Marvel Fantastic Four, and who do you think would be a good director choice?
You said Grufford came back as Mr. Fantastic, yes?
For what?
I don't know. I just thought he was.
No, I mean, it's rumored that he'll be in Doctor Strange, but it's not.
Oh, in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I see.
I'll say, don't be careful, because there are a lot of it'll be out by the time this episode comes out, I think, but there are a lot of Doctor Strange leaks out there. So, which is, of course,
I see.
Benedict Cumberbatch pissing over a balcony onto Wong's face. But,
that, you know that scene in the trailer where Wong's hanging from like a cliff. He goes, strange! He's just seeing the absolute stream coming towards his face.
By the way, yeah, we're not going to be able to review it until 2 episodes from now, because we are pre-recording the next one today as well. But, yeah, there are a lot of leaks out there, so be careful where you go on the internet about that. But yeah, so I don't think Grufford is coming back permanently. I think he'll just be, if he is in it, he'll be like a little cameo.
Oh, okay.
But
well, either way, I think he'd be the right choice for a director.
that's a good call, you know. Yeah, I think Dwayne Johnson would be a great choice as screenwriter.
I'm gonna hire makeup artist Jon Favreau for this one,
and let's get cinematographer Miles Teller
and local crazy man Ezra Miller as local crazy man.
as stunt coordinator.
Oh God.
Anyway, I don't know. Jon Watts was an okay choice, pretty good choice actually. I think maybe a Matthew Vaughn off the top of my head. I don't know. I guess he wouldn't really fit. Give me a second to think. Phil Lord and Chris Miller, boom, did it. Perfect Fantastic Four.
I think the Russo brothers.
Well, I think Quentin Tarantino. So.
Tarantino.
Do you love? Oh, actually, wait. Do you also love more directors leaving their movies? I guess not.
I do.
Well,
nothing gives me greater sexual pleasure than waking up and seeing that another director's flopped his great project.
Open your phone, you see Justin Lin leaves Fast and Furious 10. You go, oh, that's the stuff right there. Anyway, Justin Lin leaves
What
Fast
a terrible
10.
knowledge for you to have.
But Justin Lin has
Justin Lin.
Fast 10. You naughty boy. Cool, I guess. Bad. I don't know. Whatever.
Who is Justin Lin?
He directed, I think, the fifth one or the sixth one. He was a good choice, but he left. Anyway, okay. Do you want to just shoot you with the pellets of mini news that we don't really have anything to say about?
All right, go for it.
Let's do this.
I mean, I've got a lot to say about Lin's leaving, but we will move on, I guess.
Have you ever played Borderlands?
I've not.
Okay, well, the Bear Jew, Eli Roth, the character he played in Inglourious Basterds, is called the Bear Jew, is directing a Borderlands movie.
Ooh.
We have a bunch of title newses. A Quiet Place, the new one is going to be called A Quiet Place Day One. I think it might be a prequel or a spin-off or something. Based on that title, it's probably focusing on like when the thing first started. That could be kind of cool, because the best scene in that last movie, or one of the best scenes, was that opening part. So I'd be much down.
Was very cool.
Avatar.
Do you think we'll get a Krasinski return? Or?
I think we'll get at least a cameo in there. Could this?
He wouldn't direct a movie without at least cameoing in it.
I don't think he's directing it. No. So Krasinski's.
Oh.
God, they're. Oh my. Ooh. Okay. My old man rage is about to come out. Sorry.
Oh my. Ooh. Is that the sound of Lin leaving the premises?
Because I got on one side like doors slamming, I got the other side motorcycles going by, and my podcasting rage is about to come out. So I'm gonna contain myself. Avatar 2 is called Avatar: The Way of Water.
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited for the new Avatar movie.
All right, is that sarcastic, or are you?
No, I am. I really am.
No, yeah, I'm excited too. I want to see what they do, and should be like, it took them long enough, so it should be.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's just the doors.
No.
The doors.
Just get your rage out.
But the wall's very thin, so if I yell, they can hear that I'm
Just.
there was actually an incident.
There was an incident in which my knuckle dusters came out.
I have a very strange story with. Anyway, I'll tell you later. Actually, so it involves my flatmates. It was a little bit of a weird like power struggle that I think I won. Anyway.
Okay. So they held a knife to my throat and I pissed myself.
The Expendables 4 is happening, and it's called the Expenfordables. Like, they have the A is a 4. I'm not kidding. It sounds like some terrible joke we would make, but it's literally the title.
The Expenforcedables.
Yeah, the Expenforskinnables. There's a Ghostbusters sequel happening. Rage. I mean, it's fine, whatever. I think it might be a spin-off, not a sequel. J.J. Abrams is producing.
Not.
Keep cutting myself off and then get annoyed.
J.J. Abrams. Oh, could be okay. But J.J. Abrams. Oh my God, what's happening with the doors right now?
Yeah, I'm way all over the place. J.J. Abrams is producing a Hot Wheels live-action movie.
Why?
I don't know. I liked Hot Wheels as a
JJ.
kid. I had like a black and purple car that was fucking awesome. Anyway, I hope that goes in the movie.
I hope they see that.
El Muerto Sony movie announced starring Bad Bunny, who is... Okay, so...
Who's Bad Bunny?
A lot to unpack here. So first of all, another Sony Marvel movie. Great stuff. Love that for us. We have Kraven the Hunter coming up. We have Madam Web. We have Venom 3. Maybe more Morbius if we're lucky. And now El Muerto, who is a super-powered wrestler, from what I've gathered. And Bad Bunny...
I believe El Muerto means the death?
Yeah, but in the comics, he's a super-powered wrestler. And Bad Bunny is a rapper. And
I believe Bad Bunny spits some bars in this one.
And his acting career has included playing Wolf in the upcoming Bullet Train and Lookout in Fast and Furious 9. So, like, I assume a Francis Ngannou-esque cameo. So, good stuff. I'm not really excited for it because I refuse to be excited for these Sony Marvel movies. But they gotta make a good one eventually, right? DC started pretty poor and like with their new DCU.
And they had Wonder Woman and Aquaman, so you know.
Yeah, which those aren't great, I would say. But then they had... When was it? Birds of Prey was pretty good.
And they had Suicide Squad.
They did. The Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, true.
Then, did you see the Jurassic World 2... No, Jurassic World 3 trailer? Goodness. So many Jurassics.
I did not.
What? That's like the big thing this week. That'll probably be the thumbnail.
Is it this week?
Yes.
Come on, man, get with the thumbnail. I've seen one of the trailers.
It's a new trailer. It's a new trailer. You would have known it. It has Dr. Alan Grant Alan, and he
Alan.
him and Goldblum says some Goldblum type line where he's like, you. Oh yeah, Chris.
That's so Goldblum.
Just gets lost in his own mind.
You.
Chris Pratt's like, I made a promise to Blue, and Jeff Goldblum, very Goldblum like, he's like, you made a promise to a dinosaur? It's like, it's pretty. That was a good Goldblum. It wasn't at all. It could have been anyone.
That was not a terrible Goldblum. You made a promise to a dinosaur?
That's
more Sean Connery.
That was extremely Connery, rest in peace. But it looks pretty good, actually. I'm pretty excited for it, I'd say.
I still haven't seen the second one. I know everything that happens, but I still have not seen it.
The old cast coming back initially, I was like, it's another one of these Ghostbusters, Star Wars, we'll bring back the elderly. Sorry, that's
Bring back the elderly who need a paycheck.
Yeah, that was the last Star Wars movie. Star Wars, bring back the elderly. But I don't know. It looks kind of fun with them. They're like, we need to consult an expert, and then it's like Dr. Alan Grant, and the dinosaurs look pretty good. They're like out in the middle of like the world, which is kind of cool. And I don't know, it looks good. I might be just be getting tricked by like a good trailer, but I think it looks pretty good. And also, it contains my favorite thing I've ever seen in a trailer ever, which is the dinosaurs are roaming around the city, right? And I believe a T-Rex eats a guy off of one of those scooters that you rent out in the city, which I believe we have discussed.
Like one of those lime scooter things?
Are my worst enemy still. They were for a period of time in my life, and I haven't seen one in a long time, but I hold that grudge forever. Because I used to bike to school, and they would go on my bike path, and you're not a fucking bike. Get off my bike path, you slow-ass fucking scooter. And a guy I really didn't like used to ride one every day, and I just have a deep...
Who didn't you like?
Yep. And... I tried to rent one out one time with you on a night out, and it took all of my money and didn't work.
I'm still so incredibly baffled by how you managed to do that.
It took like 500 kroner.
How is that even possible?
I don't know.
I think, and I'm not even joking, I believe the max it can charge you for a ride is 94 a day.
Anyway.
It charged you for almost a week.
I got nothing.
What did you do? It's like you bought it.
It's like I bought the company. And so to see a guy who was riding it get eaten by a T-Rex was one of my favorite things I've ever seen. And honestly, I think that should happen to anyone who rides a lime scooter. They should be eaten by a T-Rex.
I've ridden one many a time.
I'm aware.
I said what I said.
Yeah, I don't take it back. And final piece of news. The Patman 2 is officially happening, with Matt Reeves coming back to direct and Robert Pattinson Patman coming back to star as the Penguin. So are we excited for
Star as the Penguin.
Pattinson 2?
I am excited. Have they said when it's happening, or just that it is happening?
But I'd guess probably will come out 2025 at the earliest.
Oh, that's so far away.
It is, but the first one came out last month.
Yeah, but make it quick. Get that quick, man.
Do it quick, Pat. Also, by the way, hilarious thing I've seen now. Those like really cringy, like rich of us to talk about cringy, but those cringy like Instagram edits of like movie scenes where it's like someone acting tough and they put like a cool song behind it, and it's like,
oh yeah.
I saw one that had like 1 million likes of the Coach like diner scene or whatever, and I was like, they finally discovered it. Wait until they see like every other scene in this movie, because you can put that cool lame Instagram music behind all of it and basically just like make it a little short. So I was like, that's disappointing.
So they've taken what they used to make Squid Game look really cool to now make the Coach look very cool.
Basically, yeah, which is truly disturbing. But anyway, Pattinson 2, Patman 2. What are you hoping to see? Do you want to see more Farrell, more Penguin?
I'd like to see some Farrell.
I mean, he's getting his own show. So
he's getting his own show. So I mean, I guess a little Farrell appearance would be nice, but not like make the movie based around him as a main character or one of the main characters.
As the main character. It's not about Batman.
Batman. The Penguin. I would like a bit of Joker, perhaps. I think that could be interesting.
Yeah, I think they might save him for like a trilogy or something. I don't know why. I just have like an inkling. I think they might try to go with a new villain. I think the director might have said he wanted to do Mr. Freeze and like wanted to see how he could do him in like in a realistic way, like he did in the first one. I don't know. I love these sort of when a film has a very, even with the Nolan films, when the film has a specific aesthetic, to see established characters in that aesthetic is quite fun.
Yeah.
It's like to see it would have been cool to see a Nolan version of Mr. Freeze. It'd be cool to see a Matt Reeves version of Mr. Freeze. I think Mr. Freeze could be really cool. There were also maybe Court of Owls could be a thing. I guess Catwoman won't be in it because she's going off to somewhere else, probably to have her own HBO show. But I'm really.
I think she'll come back.
I don't think. I think they want to spin her off into something else probably. Actually, she was a pretty big part of the first one. She'll probably come back.
Yeah, she might come back. I think she might not come back in the second one, but then she'll come back in the third one, killing the Joker who appeared in the third one, aka the trilogy.
Which I think that sounds great. I like how I've just decided there's going to be a third one, and for some reason they put the Joker in that one. I just decided that it has no basis in anything.
I mean, and I trust that.
But I'm really excited for more. I think like I was saying, the aesthetic, like it built up such a interesting version of Gotham, and I have to say I've seen a lot of takes on the Batman since it came out of like why it's stupid and bad and dumb, and like some of it some of it is kind of funny to laugh at, like some of the parts that are a bit silly and over dramatic, but I still hold that I think it was a very good film. I want to watch it again.
No, I think it was such a good movie. I think it's the second best Batman movie there is.
Yeah, maybe I like Batman Begins a lot, but it's definitely top 3 for me.
No, I'd say it's better than everything apart from The Dark Knight. I think that was just peak.
Yeah.
But who knows?
And
in the third one, the Joker might make it the best one.
My thumbnail still remains best superhero movie ever? Because that's how you do clickbait, baby. Well, now it is.
That's how showbiz works, baby.
Now it is time for
the damn Cnews.
We actually have a legitimate piece of Tom Cnews this week. I don't know if you heard, but Mission Impossible 7, and I think kind of 8, has been given a title.
Ooh.
So, it will be called Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, Part 1.
Dead Reckoning. Do you think Cruise will die by the end of this series?
They'd Craig Bond him?
They Craig Bond him.
I
really hope they don't.
I can see them doing it, honestly, in a very similar Craig Bond kind of way, but I'd hope they don't. That was such a somber end. I mean, it was kind of a sweet end, I guess, but it was such a somber end. Ralph Fiennes just cheersing no one.
Yeah. I should have put that one in the movies that everyone loves but we hate. That
No Time to Die
007 movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was the only one who loved it, honestly. Everyone I've talked to didn't like it.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
But yeah, I don't think he will. No, I do think he will. Yeah, I think it'll be really anticlimactic. I think it'll be him doing like a stunt in the middle of the movie, and he just falls and like breaks his neck, and that's it. That's how. And the rest of the movie is just like
sitting there
funerals.
like, come on, Tom, you got to do it, and then Cruise just runs and just hits his face into a pillar and just dies. But not like the immediate death. He dies like weeks later in the hospital.
That's so dark. Yeah, the full movie is just Cruise.
They decide to pull his plug after being years in a coma.
Imagine the opening scene that you think is like getting you hyped for the whole film. Just Cruise hits his head and falls into a deep coma. It's just 2-hour like drama of Peg being depressed, just sitting by his bed, and then the very end they pull the plug, and that's the end of the franchise.
God, it's like $1 Million Baby-esque moment where they're sitting there debating goods and evil. If euthanasia is a thing, Benji's asking some higher questions.
It's just no music over the credits.
No music in the entire movie. It's a one-frame Benji moment where you only focus on his eyes and how they slowly tear up.
Extremely experimental. So yeah, but it still for some reason has the... No, actually, it's that whole movie, but it still has the like super over-the-top Mission Impossible credits where like the fuse is lit and it's just...
After, like the moment the plug is pulled, the plug becomes the fuse.
The plug is pulled, it slowly zooms in on the socket and then just pauses.
And then like as it goes like dun 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 at some random point during that song you just hear a flat line.
So anyway,
and then you hear like from hundreds of meters away the cries of Benji. No.
And then I guess part 2 would just be like a still shot of his grave for 2 hours.
Benji in court trying to explain that he was not just using it for his phone charger.
Is that a thing? Is that a thing that's happened?
I don't know.
God, it's such
But if anyone can make it happen,
it's Cruise.
it would be Benji.
What a horribly dark idea. Well, anyway, yeah, I am very excited for that when it eventually comes out next year. But goodness, yeah. So Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. Now it's time for the announcements and such. Take it away, us, right now. Let's first go through a couple of commentaroos on the latest pod. Let's see. ZJ says, love getting the notification for a new pod. Thank you, ZJ. GC Green says, can't believe you guys didn't mention Morbius's fart dust as a top-tier superhero weapon. Shame. Very true. That was extremely effective. Another really great and enjoyable episode. Possibly the most nerdiest episode. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel.
Jaden left a comment that did make my girlfriend laugh, so I appreciate that, Jaden. I have a theory that BHL was the reason Eddie the Nose is now known as Eddie No-Nose. BHL actually stole Eddie's nose, which is why he has such a freakishly large nose. BHL would have done this so he would feel as though he is part of the Baby Driver franchise. Side note, who would win in a fight? The Nose Brothers, Eddie and BHL, versus Freddy and G-Day and JD, who put the Asian and home invasion. Another great pod episode.
Ola G-Day BT enters?
So, a lot to unpack there. First of all, I appreciate the definition of my freakishly large nose. That was much appreciated. And I would say definitely the Nose Brothers would win. Eddie and BHL would beat the fuck out of Freddy
The
and
Nose
JD.
Brothers sounds like a movie you have to make.
JD, quote, was an idiot. Jaden also says, when you guys get to episodes 140, I think you should introduce the episodes as Pod 140 in build-up to Thor. Yes? Question mark? One for Thor. Oh, I see. One for Thordy. Episode 1 for Thordy. I see. I like this.
This I like.
And I
this
support
I will
it.
do.
Josie says, this was a hilarious episode. Absolutely loved it. One of my favorites. Thank you, Josie. And Michael Scarn says, looking forward to the greatness of Tom Cnews in the next few weeks because his first movie in 4 years is coming out. That's right. We're getting first movie in 4 years. That's
which
nuts.
one?
Top Gun 2.
Is it coming out this week?
Miles Teller is Goose's son. No, it's coming out at the end of May. So we gotta see that and we gotta talk about that. It's a shame we won't.
News is in. Miles Teller is Goose's son.
It's a shame we probably won't be able to see each other in person for a very long time because, God, there's so many good Woodies that are coming out. But
There's
eventually,
so many good
we'll be
Woodies.
able to get a Woodies in there. But yeah, we will be seeing Goose, the Goose Jr. And yeah, I'm excited. Can't believe it's been 4 years. That's nuts. Yeah, so excited for that. And then on the fan page, there was an excellent video, a clip from Moon Knight. I don't know if you saw this, where POV, someone says the Poorly Planned Podcast is just a Weekly Planet copy, and it's Oscar Isaac being like, "That is not true. Are you having a laugh? That is not true." And he starts like getting very angry.
Not true.
It's very good.
Oi, don't say that. That's not true. That's not true.
Oh, I must.
Are you having a laugh as well?
Is Oscar Isaac British?
Well, he is in the show for some of it because he plays like two guys.
What did I just hear?
It's a confusing. Yeah, you should watch it. It's kind of interesting, I guess.
I really want to watch it. It sounds very good.
And then finally, someone made a TikTok sound of us, which I thought was interesting. Let me see if I can find this. Yeah, someone made us into a TikTok sound, so I guess that's just kind of an honor.
What does that mean?
So, someone made a TikTok where like we are the background audio,
to the Ant-Man and the Wasp soundtrack.
and he
Also, huge shout out to my boys over at the Eternals.
and it's like over his video of his like Marvel Legends action figure like figurines of the Eternals. I'll be honest, I don't entirely get it. I think it's because he goes over the Eternals, as you say. Huge shout out to the Eternals, which I do appreciate. But he says, so yeah, thank you JD.Adam for making us a TikTok sound. He says, does this audio have any potential? And he credits us for the audio. And it did get 80 likes, which is kind of nuts.
You got 80 likes.
Which is, I think, way more likes than I usually get on TikTok. So shout out. I'll give.
I think 80 likes is like really good.
Yeah. So anyway, we're TikTokified. So yeah. Anyway, thank you JD.Adam. And that is the end of this episode. Happy 5 years. Great stuff.
God.
Look out for that tattoo on the Instagram, which we'll plug in a moment. Yeah, we should have said your Instagram earlier, but it's in the description. We plug it at the end. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, if you're listening on YouTube, the Poorly Planned Podcast, drop a like, subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a comment what you thought of the episode down below and what we talked about, and tell your friends about the pod. Also, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, we're there as well, the Poorly Planned Podcast. Please leave a 5-star rating, a nice review, hit that follow button. And you can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com.
You can find me on Twitter at FTK_AdultSniper. You can find me on YouTube. Oh, no, wait. Oh, I've messed it up. On Instagram at Fidelgard and on YouTube at FTK Space Gaming.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Benji, pull the plug.
God.